It has been very cold. Obviously, when there's snow and frost, you can't do an awful lot in the garden. But when the snow and frost clears, it's a good time to prune your wisteria. Wisteria needs pruning twice a year to make it flower very well. So give it a prune in summer, and then now give it a good prune, shortening all the side shoots. It's an ideal time while it's quiet to give your greenhouse a really good clean and fumigate it to get rid of any bugs and bacteria that may be hanging around. And then in January, it's time to start sowing a few little seedlings if it's a heated greenhouse. You can start sowing your onions now, and then you can plant these out in March. Onions have a long growing season, that's why they need to be started early. Robinson's Mammoth Onion's one of my favourites. It's got such high uniformity, it grows very well, and it can be grown to about 6 pounds in weight and 22 inches in a circumference. It's a very sweet flavour, and it's very popular with any of the exhibitors. So if you're fancying trying to enter one of those local shows and win yourself a prize for having the largest onion, grow Robinson's Mammoth, and it's been grown from about the 1800s to the present day. Another good favourite onion of mine is Elsie Craig. This is a heritage variety, and it was named after a small island off the coast of Scotland. It's a large globe-shaped onion with golden sort of straw-coloured skin, and it's produced very weighty onions and perfect for a show bench as well. But it's ideal onion just for growing in the home. That's Elsie Craig. Any crops that you picked in autumn time, just keep checking on them, particularly things like apples and pears, because they can go rotten or mouldy if you don't turn them occasionally. And potatoes, some varieties start to sprout quicker than others, so make sure you eat the varieties that are sprouting first. Well, you'll find seed potatoes in garden centres and nurseries from late January to February, so you can start to buy them now. I mean, we have at the nursery, I think last year we had 30 varieties of seed potatoes, so there's a potato out there for everybody, but you can buy your seed potatoes, keep them in a cool, frost-free spot to leave them to sprout. This is known as chitting. Egg boxes make very good chitting little trays, so start saving those now. But you wouldn't plant the tubers probably till the end of March or April, depending on what variety they are. The different types, first earlies, second earlies and main crops, and they will then for yield at a different time as well. Also, rhubarb is a perennial, so it lays dormant in the ground in winter. But now what you can do is exclude light by putting a bucket over it, and it's called forcing it, so it grows up early and it's ready in about 8 weeks' time. If it's very cold, make sure you insulate around the bucket with straw. But as you're probably well aware, we're not far from the rhubarb triangle, so we get some delicious locally grown rhubarb here. Fruit-wise, bring some potted strawberries inside. You can put these on the window ledge or in a greenhouse if you have, and that'll give you an early crop. Regarding red and white currants, you could be pruning these now, shorten the shoots to a single bud. Also fruit-wise, if you've not already done so, cut the canes of your autumn fruiting raspberries to soil level, which will therefore encourage plenty of new growth for next year to give you some lovely autumn fruit next year.